And welcome back to Newsport Radio. I'm your host, Sterling K. King, king by name and king by reputation. Today's sponsor is Thundercloak Munitions. Boys and girls, are your mom and pop having a tough time putting dinner on the table? I think it's time you get your little hands to work. Apply at Thundercloak Munitions today, downtown Newsport, 45 8th Street. Last we heard from our heroes, they were making their way through the transit depot, on their way to 026 train to Newsport. What was a leisurely stroll slowly turned into a dangerous encounter. The public at risk from a vile Kurg beast escaped from its cage. Out, our heroes jump into action. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to sit back, relax, and roll initiative, everyone.
Four.
8.
What a hero.
I'm
8.
so good at this.
13.
Okay, thought the creature sort of like is attempting to press its head through the far side of the cage, trying to lash at Squigums.
I'm gonna rush ahead to get over behind Squigums. Seeing that the beast is trying to lash out at him, I'm going to grab him by the shoulder and throw him back behind me. And with my other hand, I'm gonna pull my halberd out and kind of just point the pointed tip of it towards the beast, ready to strike if it gets out.
Okay, I'll let you burn a bonus action for the Squig toss.
Okay. Do I have to roll an athletics to see how far I throw him?
That will indeed be an athletics check.
Okay. Let's see. Let's see what I roll here. That's an 18.
That is more than enough. What direction are you throwing him, and how far? You got 30 feet to work with.
Let's see. How far do I have?
30 feet is a ranged weapon.
Oh, excellent. On this person. They're
Okay.
standing too close. They need to move.
Okay, so you sort of like come up behind Squigums as he's like still grappled onto the bars, and you sort of grab him under the armpits like a toddler and just kind of toss him off to the side, impacting with this person and shoving them back a pace. So that's your bonus action burnt up as you ready your halberd.
Ow! That hurt, asshole!
It's too dangerous over here. Stay back. Everyone get back.
I'm not a child, I can take it.
As you shout your warnings, like a number of the bystanders sort of take a few steps back. They were already mulling over the idea before you spoke, but now they actively pursue it.
Okay. And, yeah, all I'm gonna do is just ready in action in case this thing gets out.
Alright. Aiden DeMark, it is your turn.
Yeah, I'm just gonna step back. Be like, you got this, guys!
Alright. So you just, you just backpedal.
And go like, yeah! And I kinda like throw acid splash at the creature.
Okay. Is there something to roll?
A dexterity saving throw, it must succeed on a dexterity saving throw, or take 1d6 damage.
Okay.
Which is DC is 13.
Okay. And it is a natural one, as like the acid splashes over the thick leathery hide of the creature. Roll damage.
Huh. 1.
That one.
The acid, however, is not quite so concentrated as you would have preferred, as it sort of like rapidly dilutes, melting away just the first few layers of skin. It does, however, like eat into the metal of the bars a decent little bit. Not enough to break them or anything, just they look a little weaker than before.
I swear this never happens before.
Hap, this thing is now sort of like shrieking in a little bit more irritation, sort of bashing against the bars more fiercely than before. What do you want to do?
I'll look back towards Aiden and say, we're going to talk about the acid later.
Like, I struggle like, it was worth a try.
I'm going to run around to the far side of the cage and try to distract it so that it's coming towards me instead of the hole it's already made. Just kind of like, rattling the bars and yelling at it.
I'm gonna roll him a skill check to ignore you. Oh, what? Be a save. I'm gonna call that an intelligence save.
Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Ah, nat 20.
Yeah, it kind of just like glances at you as you sort of rattle the cage, like trying to make yourself sort of as much of a irritation to it, and instead it just sort of turns away and continues bashing against the weakened door of the cage where it already was.
Clever girl.
You still have a standard action if you like.
Can I see the syringe?
It is on the ground, just between the things, like front and hind legs, sort of directly under it.
Gotcha.
You could attempt to snatch it, dexterity or sleight of hand, something like that.
I would love to try a sleight of hand to grab that thing.
Roll it for me.
Excellent. Let's see what I can do here. Only a 12.
Yeah, that is a 12. I'm going to roll a dexterity save against that. That is a 12. So yeah, he beats it, just kind of like moving his foot slightly, knocking the syringe inwards away from you. This thing seems quite clever, actually. And that is the end of your turn. So I'm going to roll a
Indeed it is.
strength check. As the athletics check, as the thing rears back and then slams once more with like vigor against the side of the cage. And in the cage's like weakened state, I'm going to call that just enough to sort of bust it open as the thing leaps out and attempts to swipe at you with its tentacles. Yeah, it attempts to, and that doesn't hit your AC.
No, it does not.
That is the end of the Kurg's Beast's turn, and we're back around to Squigum's turn.
So, we have to keep it alive. Okay, so
You can assume it's valuable to somebody.
what you're saying is we have to knock it out somehow. All right, that's unarmed strike is. So I'll just use that bonus unarmed strike, which is a 17.
And the second attack hits. So Squigum's like works his tiny legs as hard as they can go, sort of running in with like a clumsy sort of forward kick, which kind of just grazes off the side of the thing's leathery hide as you come in with a second uppercut, kind of bang directly in the ribs. Roll me damage.
6.
6 bludgeoning damage. And you feel like those bones kind of shift a little bit under the weight of your fist. Not really budging the creature on the whole. It very much feels like punching a bear.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Oh.
Alright, now that the creature is free from its cage, I did ready an action to swing my halberd at it, so that is exactly what I'm going to do, doing a heavy overhead, like sweep downward on top of it, hopefully.
As the thing sort of takes 2 steps out of its cage, you immediately bring your halberd down towards its neck. Roll me that down attack. And yeah, it does not hit, kind of just striking wide and clanging against the tiles.
Well, shit. That's unfortunate.
You're a bit
Alright.
slow on the draw there, Thor.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess I'll just take another swing. This time for its legs. I need to cripple this thing. This creature with a 14.
And you take another swing indeed, hitting it just directly above, like between the ankle and knee on its front leg. In place of damage, you can knock it prone if you like.
I think damage is fine. I just want to cleave this thing's leg off.
Damage is lovely. And with a 13, you immediately sever at the exact point where you hit, separating the foot from the rest of the leg, leaving sort of a bleeding, ragged stump, dripping a dark purple ichor. It lets out a loud sort of rumbling growl, a deep as it approaches, maybe looking a little bit more determined than before, if a little bloody. Aiden, it is your turn.
I'm trying to think of the situation, what's going on here, and I quickly fire a magic missile at it.
Alright, that auto hits, yeah? Magic
Yeah.
missile in 5e.
Yeah, it's a 5.
Yeah, you reach into your coat, sort of whipping out your wand, and in the same action, in the same movement, a burst of light like erupts from the tip, flying at the creature and impacting it in the flank, sort of sending it careening just a little bit against the back of its cage. It seems to be like a little woozy now, having lost like a bit of blood at this point and taken a number of hits. Ow.
Alright, can I get the syringe easily now that it's not over top of it?
Yeah, it's very easy. You'll have to burn your bonus to snatch that bitch.
That's fine. So I will grab that and proceed to climb to the top of the cage.
Alright, roll me acro, athletics, it's up to you.
Yeah, let's do acrobatics. That's gonna be a +2. 8. Seriously, guys.
Honestly, you're getting up like a roughly chest-high cage, so like anything above a 6 would have about done it for me.
Beautiful.
So yeah, you kind of like hoist yourself up with a bit of a groan, standing on top of the cage, having a good view down on the powerful-looking back of this creature.
And can I end my turn by dropping onto its back and trying to jab it?
Yeah, roll me an attack roll if you like.
Absolutely.
I would count it as a dagger, as far as it goes.
Dagger. So that's gonna be +4 to hit. Beautiful. So I'm gonna climb to the top, stand over the edge, and like as I bend down to kind of jump a little bit, like Hap's knee's gonna pop. Just like, ugh, and he's jumping. It's a 19.
19 hits as you dive down onto the back of this creature. One leg sort of landing either side, you slam the syringe down into the back of its neck, watching the pressure mechanism trigger and the greenish chemical within sort of drain into the flesh of the creature. Roll me 2d6 for the damage.
9.
It sort of like wavers side to side, almost collapsing, and then it kind of like catches itself on its severed stump, and with the shoot of pain up its body, kind of jolts back up to almost full consciousness. It's standing still, and you are still riding it.
Excellent.
So yeah, it's the Kurg base turn, and it is going to attempt to throw you off with acrobatics. An athletics check. Can you contest that with acro?
I certainly can. 15.
22. So yeah, it immediately just sort of like shakes in the same movement that it jolted upright, and kind of like just sort of rolls you off of its side and back onto the ground, and it's going to attempt to attack you with disadvantage.
Well, yeah, that's gonna hit.
Yeah, that's double 22s with its bonus, so it is going to grapple instead of do damage. So it wraps you in its tentacles, sort of drawing it close to its powerful maw, which sort of like closes down around your foot. And thank fuck it didn't hit.
God.
But yeah, you managed to sort of like lean forward, beating the jaws away from your leg, and it is now the turn of Squigums. The beast before you sort of swaying back and forth, looking as though it might drop at any moment.
I'm gonna punch it really, really hard. 19.
Ah! Roll me damage on that.
That's a 5 bludgeoning.
That is more
Non-lethal.
than enough.
Am I allowed
Naturally.
to say non-lethal or?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, cool. Non-lethal.
You sort of lean in, and with its head sort of occupied, grappling its tentacles around Hap's leg, you sort of lean forward and just sort of slug it in what might approximate its jaw. And it kind of like just collapses into a sort of meaty, bloody pile. Still, its chest sort of rises and falls as the effects of the tranquilizer slowly take hold. That's the end of combat.
Alright, we need a vet to take care of this thing. I guess we should probably pay for any injuries.
Yeah, behind you guys in the background, the gentleman sort of begins to approach. Right, that. Honestly, I have no idea what I would have done if you blokes hadn't come along. That. You may save my fucking life, gentlemen, as he sort of pushes past you.
We didn't just save your life. We saved all these people's lives. I know what would have happened if we weren't here. A lot of good folk would have died. Get your head on straight if you're doing stuff like this.
It's also bleeding pretty bad, so it probably needs one of them medical people.
Yeah, Leroy's on his way, should be on his way back. That's his department. But look, mate, this ain't on me. I just received this goddamn thing. They're supposed to be properly tranked for the next 16 hours. This shouldn't be happening.
Sounds like sabotage to me.
Yeah, or just fucking cost carding from the family that owns the thing.
Can I take a look at the construction of the cage?
Yeah, sure. Roll me insight.
12.
It looks to be like decent quality steel. You don't spot anything specifically wrong with the cage.
Okay.
It just happens to have been used to contain like a very powerful beast.
Well, the cage seems fine, and it looks like for now, everything's under control.
Yeah, well, now I gotta get this thing squared away and sort the cage out. Look, it's not a lot, but here. And he sort of reaches into his, down to his belt, pulling out like a small pouch, and he recovers, 4 gold pieces and holds them out. You did me a huge favour. I really appreciate it.
Does he give one to each of us?
Yeah, he's just sort of holding them out to be taken.
I take one and put it in my pocket.
Much appreciated.
Indeed, sir. Thank you.
I'm not going to take one, actually. I'm just gonna give him a nod and just ask, we have to get going here pretty soon, but do you need any further assistance?
You could help me push this cocksucker back in there.
Will do.
Leans down to like lift the heavy, leathery flank of the creature.
Alright, I'll help him.
Yep,
I'll help
I
as
will
well.
help him as well.
I don't help him. I just watch
Okay.
them.
So yeah, with 4 people doing this thing, there's not going to be a roll. Although, like, leaning against it, it does seem to weigh, like, damn near half a ton. As you, like, roll it over, and it kind of slumps back into the cage, sort of good enough, and the man, like, tucks its legs in with it. It's a few moments after this that you do hear across the PA system. 026 to Newsport. Pre-boarding is starting now. Passengers to Newsport are recommended to take their seats. Thank you.
Oh, okay, we gotta go. Let's go, everyone. Come on, come on. I'm gonna start
Alright,
running.
let's go.
We do hope you enjoyed this month's adventure, and hey, it'd really help us out if you'd hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll tell you what, we'd love to hear from you as well. Good or bad, leave us a comment below and don't worry, I promise we can take a punch. Hey, if you see fit to do so, make sure to add us on the Instagram and Twitter, and we'll see you next month with a brand new episode. Isn't that right, Squiggums? We have a new episode every month.
Fuck you!
God, I'm too old for this.